Good rising, brethren. This is Big Judah coming to you guys from California. Before I begin, give all praise to the Most High Yahweh. Acknowledgement to the earthly mother. Who is wisdom? Who is the Holy Spirit? Acknowledgement to Yahweh Shai. I pray the Most High blesses this lesson this evening, gives us more knowledge and understanding of the events of the past in order to understand events that are currently happening on the earth. So we get a much better understanding of the things that are soon to come on the earth. Brethren, one of the family members shared a book with me, and I wanted to share it with you. Okay? And it just goes to show you the depth of our people and how they have taken our information, our heritage, and given it to everyone else so that we would never be able to find out, our heritage, the things that pertains to our people, and how deep, like, the understanding the scriptures really go. See, when they made it, they took our scriptures, translated them into English, translated them into Spanish, translated them into their languages, and gave us our scriptures like that. So when it talks about how the Gentiles were going to get a hold of the, Southern Kingdom and Northern Kingdom scriptures, and they were going to take things out and change things, it wasn't just the few verses here, the books there. It's also about the taking it out of our original language. Once they took it out of the original language, many of the deeper esoteric meanings was also lost. And so when you don't have that deeper understanding, you have a very superficial understanding of scriptures. And what's crazy is that we have so many uh, Hebrews that seem to think that we have everything with just an English translation. And, they really don't think about the original language and the original meanings and the depth of, of this understanding. So we're going to take a quick look at this book here real quick. It's called the Wisdom, okay, in the Hebrew alphabet. All right. And it's a really good book, The Sacred Letters as a Guide to Jewish Deed and Thought. All right. It's going to be a quick video here real fast. Probably hitting up some more of these books again. But I just wanted to looking at the change when they changed the name of Abram to Abraham and Sarai to Sarah, how there's a much deeper understanding. There's much deeper, information that is lost in translation. So, we read it about, they changed Abram to Abraham, they changed Sarai to Sarah, but there's more going on than what meets the eye. So check this out. In preparation for Abraham's exalted role in history, his name, Abram, okay, you guys see that right there, the letters right there from the alphabet right there. Okay, Abram, literally father of Aram, sorry, was changed to Abraham. And if you see, they added the he sound right here. Okay, they added that letter right there. Okay, let me get my thing here. On here. So they added that character right there. There we go. So they added the he right there. All right. So meaning father of nations. So they literally father of Aram was changed to Abraham, which means a father of nations. That is including proselytes. Okay. His wife, Sarai, you guys see this right there? You see the yod right here at the end. Okay. That'd be like the yod. Okay. Literally my princess became Sarah. So they changed the yod, took away the yod right here, and put the he right here. Okay, for Sarah. So you guys see that right there? So you got the scene, okay, the resh right there. You got the hair right there. So princess, so she became Sarah, princess. For she would not be only Abraham's wife, but the mother of all mankind. The change of names was accomplished by splitting the yod. Excuse me. And the yod has a numerical value of 10, okay, of Sarai, into two hays. And the hay right there equals 5. So it went from the yod, which equals 10, to the hay right there, which equals 2 5s. Okay? So you got 2 hays from the yod. So you got the hay that went into Sarah's, and the hay right here that went into Abraham. Okay? Which were then added to the names Abram and Sarai. And we'll go to page 89 in a little bit. Another Agadah relates that after God changed Sarai's name to Sarah, the omitted letter, right there, the yod, flitted about the celestial throne and lamented, "Is it because I am the smallest among the letters that you have taken me away from the name of the pious Sarah or Sarai?" God calmed the yod, okay, by promise to affix it to the beginning of a man's name to imply his new higher status. Okay, this promise was fulfilled when Joshua's name was changed from Hoshea. If you take a look right here, here's for Hoshea, to Yehoshua. So you got the yod added right there. Okay, so the lengthening of a name is a mark of honor, right? Moses made Joshua's humility known to all and raised his status by lengthening his name to Yehoshua from Hoshea when he was sent on a reconnaissance mission to the Holy Land. So as you can see, there's a deeper meaning going on with these name changes. And as you can see, the numerical value of these letters, okay, and how they're fitting with each other. And there's these other stories about the yod being upset, about being taken away from Sarai, and then being used later on to lengthen the name of Joshua. So like I said, these are like a lot of the esoteric hidden meanings that you don't get from just reading, our scriptures in English. So like I said, when it talks about that, and I'm gonna just go to it real fast. In the Book of Mormon, and we'll go to First Nephi 13. We'll skip on down to the 20s when it talks about the other nations getting our records, and they were going to change things. Let's go to 25. First Nephi 13:25. Excuse me. Wherefore these things go forth from the Jews in purity unto the Gentiles, according to the truth which is in God. So it left us, it did not leave us in English, did not leave us in Spanish, did not leave us in French and Russian and all these different languages. But they got our records and they translated them. And when they translated them, a lot of the meanings and a lot of the esoteric understanding has been hidden. And this is why at the end, the Father is calling you not only to, assume your position, get your traditions back, get your history back, but also take the time to study your language in order to get the deeper esoteric meanings from many of the writings that are here. And see, they've taken our information and attributed it to Ish as if it's always been theirs. So you would, it was bad enough we didn't read the Bible. We didn't read that. But even, they even made it that much more difficult to get the esoteric information because a lot of that is in our original language. And they beat it out of us. They made us learn their languages, just like they push that English only. They don't want you to learn other languages. They only want you to learn one language, and that's it. But in many other places in the world, they encourage you to learn more than one language. But as you can tell here, they're trying to keep you in darkness. They don't want you to learn other languages. They want to keep you busy doing everything else except for chasing after your records and your information. So again, let's go 1 Nephi 13:25. Wherefore these things go forth from the Jews in purity unto the Gentiles, according to the truth which is in God. And after they go forth by the hand of the 12 apostles of the Lamb, from the Jews unto the Gentiles, thou seest the formation of that great and abominable church, which is most abominable above all other churches. For behold, they have taken away from the gospel of the Lamb many parts which are plain and most precious, and also many covenants of the Lord have they taken away. So what are these many of these things? It's not just the verses here, verses there, books here, books there. They've also taken it out of its original language and disseminated it all over the world in different languages. So you don't have that connection and you don't have that deeper esoteric understanding because of, the language barrier. Okay, so 27. And all this have they done that they might pervert the right ways of the Lord, that they might blind the eyes and harden the hearts of the children of men. And that's exactly what they've done. Blinded the eyes and hardened the hearts. Make you think that Jesus or Yahushua was speaking English. And these are the exact words that he was using. And this was the only meaning. These are the only meanings that you can get. See, as you can see, there's a lot more going on just by that little part talking about the name change. You got mathematics going on. You got, letters being taken out and split into two. You got different definitions of, Sarah being the princess of Abram to being the princess of the whole world. See that right there? Because just by that subtle name change that people don't understand. And then even Abram, literally the father of Aram was changed, and he became the father of nations. So those are the kinds of things that have been changed just by just switching up the language. Now let's take a look at that page 89 real fast. Sarai becomes Sarah. As for Sarai, your wife, you shall not call her Sarai, for Sarah is her name. Genesis 17 and 15. Excuse me. Before God ordained that Abram's wife Sarai's name be changed, she was barren. After she became Sarah, she conceived and bore Isaac. The newly given Hey at the end of Sarah implies an increase in her femininity. For when God renamed her Sarah, he endowed the hitherto barren Sarai with the ability to conceive a child. So as you can see, that name change made her more feminine and gave her the ability to conceive a child. So when she was Sarai, she did not have that ability to conceive. But with the name change, that would make her more feminine and therefore gave her the ability to conceive a child. You see, like these little tiny tweaks, these little things that you might not notice that in the English. But what they'll do is this: they'll give you a sermon later on, and they'll give you this information in a sermon to make them make them seem as if they're so smart. But see, they know this information. The other nations know this. These churches know this. These pastors and priests know this. So they won't tell you where they're getting the information from. They won't tell you where they're getting the understanding from. But they'll just throw it out there and just want to pontificate, all this information and these big words and make it seem as if they're so smart. But all they're doing is just regurgitating our information and just giving it back to us from their perspective in order to lift themselves up, in order for us to be like, oh man, look at, he's so deep. What a great understanding. Not knowing that was originally our information in the first place. So the transformation of the name Sarai, you guys see that right there, the yod there at the end from Sarai, which means, okay, my princess, or i.e. Abraham's princess, and to Sarah, meaning princess, indicates her elevated role. From that time on, she was not only Abraham's wife, she became the matriarch or princess of the entire world. She was no longer to be called in the masculine form Sarai, the superior one, for she was Sarah, whose delicate feminine feelings and practices, okay, set the tone of the Jewish home for all time. Crazy, huh? Check out this next part. Just immodest behavior. I just want you to see this because we've talked about Dinah and when she was raped by Shechem and all the things that happened with the brothers. I'm gonna say it was Levi and Simeon who went in and started destroying all the cities, which culminated into a huge, a huge fight when our people were just going city to city destroying these other nations. Check this part out right here. He loved the maiden and appealed to the maiden's emotions. In telling us that Shechem, the Hivite prince, violated Jacob's daughter, Dinah, the Torah omits the feminine hey of the word. Okay, right there. For maiden, leaving it spelled like the masculine. Right there, okay? So they took out that feminine hey and with the masculine, that. The omitted hey indicates that Dinah did not act in a virtuous, feminine manner. She had made herself vulnerable to Shechem's attack by going out, leaving the family circle and going into the midst of strangers. So, like I said, just these little tweaks and changes, of a letter here, a letter there, number here, number there, makes a huge difference. And it just shows you how much deeper our information is. So, like I said before, the Gentiles, it wasn't just, like I said, the few verses they've taken out, the few books they've taken out. It's also the translations where a lot of the understanding has been lost in translation. All praise to the Most High Yahweh. Acknowledgement to the earthly mother. Who was wisdom? Who was the Holy Spirit? Acknowledgement to Yahweh Shai. Shalom.